Hello, welcome to Scar Tissues. I am your host, Selena Turner, author of This Is the Real Deal, and I keep it real. It is okay. Can you hear? Okay, so I'm bringing in a guest, and I want to say the person that's promoting this show is the management of Isaidit, and I would like to welcome my guest, Banks. He's a rapper. He's uh he's connected to BTB. He's a author. He's a script author. He's a food bloggage. And now we're gonna talk about Banks, and we're gonna tell his condition is scholar sc- excuse me, scholar I don't know scholar he how to pronounce it because I don't see it. So let's bring him on. Thank you. Hello, how you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Okay, I got a little mixed up here, but
Hmm.
we have you on here and you can tell us a little bit about you, and I appreciate you being on this show.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
I'm Banks, 28 years old, Cincinnati, Ohio. Um, the condition is called scleroderma. I know
Scleroderma.
it's a long word that's tough to pronounce. So I don't really. I was messing it up when I first learned it, trying to do it.
That's
Scleroderma,
what had me so
scleroderma.
confused.
Yeah, it actually wasn't even like fully published when I first was announced with the disability. So
Yes.
it's something that people getting used to hearing, mm,
So,
especially for myself.
okay, so it has something to do with your back and your legs.
So no, what's the condition is it's skin tightness. It's a joint disability, so it's like it affects the tissues in my skin. So it's
Okay.
like not that strong, and it started when I was about 5, so which affected my leg first. So it was just swollen, and it like stopped growing. Like so, everything else was normal until continued to grow. Which obviously you're gonna grow, and if one part of your body not growing, and the other part is growing, it started to affect other areas, which affected my hip and my back. So that's pretty much what happened with that. And then the surgery just happened, but I actually didn't have any surgeries on my leg or anything, just my back. And yeah, that was pretty tough. But here we are now.
Okay, I wanted to ask you some questions, because I thought you might continue to talk. I want you to ask, tell the audience, when did you realize that you was different from the others, and what age was you when you realized this?
When I would say honestly around like middle school was when I really started to physically notice I was different.
Okay.
Not necessarily like the mentality part. Um, when you notice that your appearance and the way you walk and like certain things it's not the same, and kids are cruel. So you know people stare, and then you start looking like, okay, why am I not walking like this person? Because when my disability started to affect, I actually wasn't limping. I was just hopping around. And then I would have like a cast, which was a regular cast, like the one that they wrap in.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so my body hadn't fully grown into the limp stage yet
Yeah.
until like middle school. So when I got to like fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth grade, that's when I started to notice and becoming like aware of what people think and the eyes and stuff like that. So yeah, it was about middle school.
Okay. Okay. Another question I would like to ask you.
Mm,
We see that you have a talent, and that's rapping and
mm.
much more. So when did you discover that also? And your confidence got built up with your condition. So
Um, Rapping started. I'm 28. It started around like when I was like 19, 20. But I started taking it serious around like 2021. because it was when my confidence, I wouldn't necessarily, I wasn't, it was levels to confidence. Like I said, in middle school, adjusting to middle school and learning that everybody not gonna accept me for who you are, and because they might not understand it. So
Right.
it was different. And then I had a great group of friends from middle school, and then high school, same. But it was like always an adjustment. So I never, like, if you would have asked me years ago would I be a rapper, I would look at you like, no, not
No.
even close. Like, so I gained my confidence through not only my fellow friends and my, like, just seeing people like doing what they do. It was something that I knew that like I wouldn't be joyful within my life if I don't do something that I know that genuinely makes me feel good. Like,
Right.
you have that when you find that thing that make you like, oh, I love this and I know I can do it. That's what it was. So about my freshman year in college, when I would like sneak off and do little freestyles in the room with friends. But yeah, really around like that. But 2018, 17, that time, and then it just so on and so on. And the more I did it, the more I put myself out there. The confidence just became easy.
Okay. And I wanted to ask you some questions about your condition with um have you been hospital? How many times have you been hospitalized,
Mm.
or when do you have to go to the hospital? How often have you been to the hospital?
So when my disability started, I was going all the time. But
Oh, okay.
it wasn't necessarily because I was in pain or anything. Like, it was just physical therapy and them still trying to figure out what's next and back surgeries. I was down my fifth grade year summer. I was down my sixth grade year summer through back surgeries. In
Wow.
high school, I was fine, and then like my lungs collapsed, so pneumonia caused that, and just my groin and my rib, my lung like being frizzled up because of my body structure. Was in the hospital for 33 days because of that. So I can honestly say, I have PTSD from like the hospital. So now I w- after that I would stop going, and then when I realized like, okay, you have to go on your own as an adult. Like, you have to. These are things you have to focus on with your health,
Right.
and so like I try to go and get my checkups and make sure I'm good and do everything I need to do moving forward. Mainly with my lungs at this point. It's not even like the physical stuff. It's more of the getting my body right with breathing, and because it affects my lungs a lot. And
Okay. So I just heard what you were saying about your growth.
mhm.
So with this condition, it do slow down the growth also, or
Well, it didn't. Yeah, it didn't necessarily slow it down.
okay.
It never grew. It wasn't growing. Like, and then when I had my surgeries, that's when I picked up like a bigger, like, I used to didn't have an appetite, like things like that. And then when I had like my first back surgery and I started to grow, and like everything else started to try to follow the pattern, it was a normal rate. But before, when they didn't really know what the disability was and still trying to learn the skin tissues and stuff like that, then it finally grew.
All right. Now I want you, I'm asking questions, but you can say or tell your viewers things that you want them to know without me saying
Mhm.
anything.
Right. I respect that.
Yeah, because I'm giving
Mhm.
you a chance to say what you want to say also.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it's something that, honestly, like, I always tell my friends and supporters, like, I'm growing, we growing together. Like, these are things that's new to me as well. So it
Right.
was when people ask me questions, I try to give them the most honest answer right at the moment, because I'm still like, hear me being 28 and it happened when I was 5. I'm still learning about it and finding new things and trying to figure out if I want to continue to do like more physical things. Do I want to partake in another surgery and try to, see what that's like? But I don't really think I'm ready to cross that path yet. So I'm still learning just as much as I'm giving.
Right. And
And,
I want to say what I really like about you. I looked at your profile. What I like about you with your disability, and there's a lot of people out here have a disability.
mm,
What would you tell them? Because I looked on your page and you said with your disability, you're
mm,
not going to let nothing stop you from
mm,
living and doing what you're supposed to do. Can you tell the viewers what you meant
yeah.
by that?
Yes. When feeling different is just insecure, and when with being disabled, it's mainly with a lot of our conditions is out of our control. So being born into this situation where I was feeling normal until I was about 7, 8 years old. I was still a kid, so you naturally as a kid want to feel accepted mainly by your peers, your family, your friends, and then you go into these atmospheres where everybody else is 99 and then you're one. So it's like when you're trying to adjust to that, you put yourself into this box. So you you just like it's kind of like the normal, like watching a movie. Like I break it down as like when you're watching that movie and there's that one kid who feels different, and he might
Mhm,
not physically be nothing wrong with him. His appearance might not be what he or she wants. She might not feel popular and stuff like that. And that's just a normal thing. So for me, it wasn't necessarily about me wanting to feel accepted or live my joyful life. I didn't even know what that meant for myself. Like, what does that mean for me? Now, when it became like, okay, I know that I'm different, and I know when I started to shy away from things, I knew how it made me feel. Like in middle school, high school, college, when you go into these parties, when you go into these events, when people are playing sports and you not doing what you want to do,
mhm.
that's when I realized, like, okay, like this is not the life that I want to live. I want to be happy. I want to be joyful, regardless of what people think. Now, that do comes with a lot of cons and pros, because when you putting yourself out there, you basically giving people the tools to judge you. Now they're gonna do that regardless.
Mhm.
So that's when I had to learn, and I'm like, when I walk outside, I already have my vision that people don't. They just what's the term? I don't even want to say ignorant because it's not that they're being ignorant to it. They're just uneducated to it, and they don't know what they are dealing with. So it's a natural thing. You're gonna stare. You're gonna judge. Now it's up to me to react in a negative way or just give them grace and be like, okay, well maybe they never seen somebody like me. So when I realized that, because we all do it, I've done it with midgets and just not knowing as a kid, and I was just scared and like, but then I know the feeling of like being seen in that light. So what really changed that atmosphere, I was blessed to do the Make a Wish Foundation, and I went to the island to give kids the world, and it was just a bunch of kids with a bunch of disabilities.
Wow.
So for me, I it's not that I even felt normal for once. It made me realize that there's millions of other people with millions of other disabilities, and I felt like my situation was nothing compared to a lot of other people. So I'm like, being out there was just eye opening for me, and it was like, man, like the person that goes through the most, like not even physically, but like internally, and like their body might legit hurt every day, and still can wake up joyful and smile, and just have that support system. That's all it is. You just got to make sure you surrounding yourself with the right people, which isn't easy. But if you get, it just take a stronger mentality. That's all. Like it just helps you build a stronger mentality. Like I'm still I'm still, like I said, at 28. There's still insecurities that I have. There's still multiple things that I've shy away from. because I feel like all eyes gonna be on me, and excuse and people gonna view me as like, why is he doing it? Even with my social media and music, I get like a lot of shade in the comments, and but I also get a like major love. So you just gotta focus on that. Take the hate and build off of it for real. 'Cause, I mean, something is given. Somebody gonna.
Right. Now, now, what you just said, with the disability and how you come out, you do your thing,
Uh-huh.
and other people out here with disability right now, they're looking at you, and I know they feeling good
Mm-hmm.
about themselves. You mean because you came on here and you boosting a person up to
Uh-huh.
make them feel good about themselves, that they should go out. Don't hide behind the
Mm-hmm.
scene. Go out and do what you're supposed to do,
Yeah.
because everybody has a vision and everybody want to do it, but
Mm-hmm.
you didn't. And this opened the doors for others with
Right.
disability to come out and say, you know what? I want to be a rapper. I
Mm-hmm.
can do it. It don't matter what condition I
Exactly.
have. I can do this.
Right. I try to keep the balance. Like I want them to understand that, like for myself, like I knew when I needed to put myself out there, and I knew when my mental wasn't ready for that. It's literally just like being a baby. You just take it steps, and you gotta adjust to what you're dealing with. It just all depends on what atmosphere you in. I just say find your world. Literally find your world, and it's a path that you might not even think you be ready for or going to enter, and everything is on God's time and too. So
That's true.
that's just how I wish, like I do this with people who are not disabled. So like I'm just a natural like uplifting person. Like I want you to see what I see in you. Like so me being that way helps me be that way with myself. Like
Hmm.
sometimes I'll be like, dang, why couldn't I tell myself that? So when I'm talking to others, I'll be like, okay, I can't be that person that's giving all this joyful advice, and then I go home and cry myself in the pillow. Like, no, like, can't do that. I need to
Right.
get up and
So
do the
you
same thing.
motivate a lot of people,
Hmm.
with disability or without it.
Both. Hmm.
All right. Now I want to ask you a question now, because I was listening to some of your rap. I
Hmm.
want to ask you, are you writing the songs? And I would like to ask you, are they about your life?
Hmm. So yes, I write out everything that I create.
Okay.
Yeah, everything I it has to be because it won't give me the same feeling if somebody else wrote it for me. Um, so yeah, and most of it 90%, 95% of it
Mhm.
is about me. And it's about me through the lens of myself and my family and my friends. Most of the songs, like mainly the songs from my album and Once Upon a Child, was based off me and my family and just the way I was raised and learning that I wasn't perfect for my brothers and sisters. Them. So what I try to explain is that we all grew together. So like I tried to open my lens from my mother's point of view, my father's point of view, my sister, my brother, and learn that like they didn't know what they was dealing with, and I'm a grown now and mad at my mom about certain things that I felt like she could have done, and my sister and brother not showing no empathy, but them not looking at me any different. So that's a natural thing, and my dad has this such always positive mentality that it can be annoying sometimes. Like let me be sad. Like there's multiple emotions. So
Right.
it's not that he's showing tough love. He's just like you're gonna be good. You're always gonna be good. You're always gonna be good. But in some cases, like I don't feel good right now. That's not something I want to hear. I just want to be understood right now. So, but learning that everybody not gonna understand you. That's really what really like sparked my music in general. just being misunderstood. So I'm like, you know what? The only way I can express it is through music.
Right. Now, I see that you are being understood because you have over 200,000 followers. I looked on your Instagram.
Hmm.
And that's a lot of followers that's, paying you a lot of attention.
Hmm.
And your music, I listened to, and it was just, like I said, uplifting
Hmm.
a person
Hmm.
with disability,
Hmm.
without disability. Now, with all your followers following you, you told us that you have mostly people that saying positive things and you do get negative.
Hmm.
So I want to ask you this question. With the negative,
Hmm.
somebody said you so ahead of your time.
Thank
And
you. I
that's
appreciate it.
correct. You are.
Thank
You are. And you're a true blessing also.
you. Thank
You're a true blessing. But I would like to say to you today, how can someone get in touch with your music? Tell them more about your page.
you.
Tell people how can they support you. I
Hmm.
would like for you to do that.
All my platforms are the same. It's I'm just Banks because I'm literally who I am. That started from me, like as I'm doing music and hearing the questions. I paid attention to what the consistent questions was. Like how do you do this with your disability? Like how are you like this? And just those same questions. I'm like literally I'm just me. Like I go in with the mentality of like just continue to be who you are and embrace who you are. So that's really what it is. I built it from the ground up alongside my team, BTB Records. They believed in me. I believed in myself. We created some magical music, and I just continue to post content and post and create. And just started from being musical. Like it started with the music, and then them seeing me and hearing me. Like I feel like that's what really took for it. Like they saw me, the eyes was already there. So when they heard the stories and they putting everything together, now it's beginning to be shared and shared and shared and shared and shared and shared. And I would just say just stay consistent and continue to work. There's no I feel like everybody got their own strategic path. So it's like I can only give the advice that I did for myself. Like I don't think that there's no strategic way that I could tell you like you post this and it's gonna get you 30,000 followers or anything like that. It's surprising me. It's still surprising me. Like I always believe that I can do good in music and I will excel in music. So that's really what it was.
All right. Okay. Can you tell us where you're from?
I'm from Cincinnati, Ohio.
Cincinnati, Ohio, in the house. All right. Cincinnati. Now, can you give us your cash app where people can support you?
It says much respect. When it comes to your condition, as far as have you ever been to therapy? Yes, I've been in several therapy that I put myself into. Um, Therapy is tough. It's tough because you have to have a strong mentality to be criticized in a way that you might not be aware of, or
Mhm.
it's also good if you take on the criticism and try to excel in multiple ways. I recommend therapy to the world. If you go into therapy, you have to have an open mindset, especially as an adult. When you were a teenager or a kid, you're more open to just hearing words and being coddled per se. With therapy, that's not what they're there for. And me and my first therapist, we had a great relationship. Things didn't end so well because of my emotions got the best of me. I had an interview with my mother for the first time. So I had my therapist for a year and a half. I would sit with her every Wednesday, and then I decided to bring my mother with me because me and my mom, we have a rocky relationship, but we there's nothing but love. But the way that she is with me and the way that I would like for her to be with me doesn't match. The way we show love is 100% different, and I think that that's what affect me. Like I'm not affectionate person. I'm not like love you. The word love you, I still like adjust to that, and I don't like to let people in as much anymore. So with therapy, that was my goal. And when me and my mom sat down, it was just a lot of back and forth. And I wasn't happy with my therapist because she, I feel like she took everything my mom said that session and just took away, erased a whole year of what we experienced. But I do think therapy is very, very important. But you have to find your person. You have to
That's
find somebody who genuinely care about what you dealing with, and just be open minded. Like if you're gonna do therapy, be open minded.
all right. Now you telling me you have some issues with your mother.
Uh-huh.
Okay, okay, you've been having issues with your mother.
Mm-hmm.
You said about the condition
Mm-hmm.
and all this
Hmm.
things that you have going on.
Right.
Still
Mhm.
out here doing your thing.
Absolutely. You can
I
you
mean, you out here doing your thing,
I
and I don't know where all your energy coming from,
mm-hmm.
but you can tell us that
Yeah.
because you have a lot going on, young man, and I
So
salute you very much. I salute you,
thank you.
and
Thank
I
you.
want you to keep your head up,
Mm-hmm.
and I want you to tell these young people again, because a lot of young people are out here having trouble with the family members.
Mm-hmm.
Mental illness is out here,
Mm-hmm.
disability, just all kind of things is out here. And I want you to really be real clear with
Uh,
telling these young people,
uh,
that you could overcome problems with not just disability, mental illness, and dealing with problems at home. This is
right.
very important because we have a lot of broken families,
Yeah.
and we on a lot of young people out on the wrong path.
Mm-hmm.
And how do you just, is it just, you didn't talk about praying, but
Mm-hmm.
do you have this in your life?
Yeah. So it's a it's a lot of things. I'm gonna say one, you have to understand that the way people view you isn't always what's right, and there's nobody is perfect. So learn from your mistakes. That's one thing I try to do. Even if I made a mistake 10 times in a row, I still try to learn from that mistake. Two, I try to surround myself with like-minded people and people who are goal-driven, who want the best out of life, who want to see me shine as much as I want to see myself shine. Three, understand and communicate as best as possible. Like even with me and my mama, like me and my mom, that's my that's the woman and the best woman in my life, regardless of what we go through. I understand, like I said before, that she's learning still as a grown woman. Even though I'm her son, I'm an adult now, and I'm being an adult that's disabled. I'm not her kid that's disabled anymore. And just learning that you gonna have to take these steps, and you gonna have to go through these experiences, and understand that once you get through that experience and that mistake and that last one, just take that and keep wedging into that wall until you get to that next stage of that wall. And I always give myself grace. Like I wake up and be like, man, like I'll text my friends like, yo, like we done, like this year we in a group chat, and we like tell them like, man, we done been through some stuff this year, but our mentality is 2025. It got to be, if we got through this, 2025 has to be better than this. And we believe in that because it was like we felt pain, we felt real pain. We done
Mm-hmm.
experienced real pain, not only as individuals but together. Same with me and my mother, with me being in the hospital. Like as much as I was irritated by her, but not understanding what I'm feeling, she was
Right.
there with them 33 days when I was in the hospital, and I don't never want to take that away. Like that's why when I share my music and when I share my story, I always want to give the pros, the good and the bad, because it's like that's what made me who I am. I feel like if I was always only good, then I wouldn't be able to like even accept anything negative, because it's like I never experienced it. You have to experience those things and just take it with a grain of salt and learn from it and just go on from it. And like even talking about it now out loud be giving me like, man, like okay, you really did go through these things and you still smiling. Like when people ask me that question, I sometimes I don't have the answer. I tell people all the time I have no choice. Let's just say that I have no choice, because if I well I can easily keep my social security and be in my house and lay down every single day and not do nothing. I can easily live that life, but that's just not the life that I was not. I was not put on this earth to be that
Ooh,
person. I was
that's
not
it.
put on this earth to be that person at all. So yes, I be outside. Yes, I go party. Yes, I go do my music. Yes, I do it proudly. And there's a lot of mistakes that came with that, but I've learned from them. You know, who accept me. Who don't. And I don't mean that in any negative way.
Right.
I'm always gonna give love and give grace. So that's just the type of person I am.
Wow.
And
Have a
final,
hardened heart.
it started. I must say, in our MTV, they gonna see me and they gonna appreciate me one day. 'Cause I put a lot of people onto this. I'm not sure if you're familiar with the show called The Real World. That show literally changed my life. Like it changed my mentality. It changed how I viewed people. The Real World is a show. It's an MTV show. It's actually, if I'm correct, it was the first reality TV show made. Back in 1995 or six or something like that, when I was born, and
Okay.
it cast seven different people every season, and they have to live with each other for the summer. And you know what that's like. You know when you cast in seven different people, different race, different ethnicity, different job styles, different religion, different culture, and it forces you to learn people and learn that that's their life, this my life, but we don't have to be cruel to one another, or we don't have to be so like. Because I was very judgmental. I'm gonna be real honest. I told my therapist I didn't like it, and I judged because that's all I felt. So when I walk outside and I go into these stores, when I went to school, when I went to work, everybody looked at me as different. So I returned the favor. Like, no, I'm not the different one. Y'all the different ones, and y'all don't have the mentality that I have. So once I started watching that show, it literally I had surgery and I was in the hospital for 33 days with pneumonia, and that's the first time I watched that show, and I binged it like 20 seasons, and it literally changed my mentality to
Wow.
like stop judging people. You never know what people going through. The person with the most swag and money, and you never know that could be the most alone person on this earth. So I just try to give people. I try like I let it be known. Do I still judge? Do I still see things and be like, well, what's up? What's up with that? Yes, absolutely. That's natural human instincts. You don't see that. It's like
Right.
walking down the alleyway in the dark and you see a random person. You're gonna naturally adjust to that person. Like, hold on. Like, it's just what it's life. And I told my friend in the interview that I did recently, I wish the world was more understanding, but not so sensitive. You can't be sensitive to everything, but I need you to understand that what
Mm.
I'm doing might not be for you. So don't judge me for me being a disabled rapper or a disabled chef or whatever you think that I shouldn't be doing. Why not try to adjust your mindset and understand why I'm doing it and see why I'm doing it. I could write a book about it if I'm being honest.
Well, you need to,
It's
because I
so
mean,
much.
you got tears in my eyes, so you know it's joyful tears, and you know all the things that people go through, and you never know by looking at somebody. Just what
Absolutely.
you said, you never know what a
Never.
person going through,
Mhm.
and you talking and the way you speak,
Mhm.
you never, like you said, you never know what a person going through. They could have all the money and everything.
Mhm.
Stop judging a book by its cover.
Absolutely, absolutely.
I love what you're saying. I
Mhm.
love what you're putting out here. And I want you to give people your cash app where they
Okay.
can support you. This is
Um,
very, very important.
can I comment it? Yeah, I can comment. It's Banks. It's money sign Banks King me. I'm gonna type it into the chat as well.
Yes, do that because we have to support you.
Thank you.
I mean, I really, truly appreciate you being on this show. And I would like to say this. I always tell people when I get on, keep your head up. And
Hmm.
that's what you're doing, my young brother. You
Thank you.
keeping your head up and you telling people, get up, get out, and do your thing, no matter what you're going through. And you're doing it. And you
Thank you.
let the public know that you're doing it. I mean, 200, I don't have that many followers. Keep going.
Thank
That's
you.
all I can say. Keep going and nothing's stopping you. And I wrote this down, what you said, just Banks
Hmm.
isn't letting
Hmm.
his disability
Hmm.
stop him from living out his dreams.
Yes, absolutely. And I gotta thank a lot of people in my life. That even the tough love, even the good love. That's why I got a perfect balance. And like I said, it's harder. It's harder for me to accept all these things because I don't. It's like I feel like this is what I'm supposed to be doing. Like I don't like like it's not a backhanded uh compliment because it is true. Like I'm not the average person, so like I take all compliments, but sometimes I can be too humbled about it. Like, and then there's sometimes where I be like, okay, I'm gonna talk my stuff today because yeah, I did that. Like I celebrate all my small wins. But I seen a comment. He said, "Do any other person in your family have any physical condition like yours or
That's a
different?"
very important question.
No. Well, not like mine. There's no physical. Nobody in my family has a physical disability. Now, my dad recently, 4 years, like 2020, had a stroke. He had two strokes, and it's changed his life. He's more, he's less physical now. Like, and it bothers me. It made us become closer, but it also helped him understand. Like, now I see because he was physical his entire life, like baseball, truck driving, physical basketball, to now walking with a cane, moving
Oh,
way much slower. He can't really get in the kitchen and cook how he wants to. Like he literally has help, and he sees it now, and he like okay, but it's also helping him with his mentality. Like he going through the phases of the I'm down, I don't want to go outside, I don't want to go to the food truck festivals, and I'm like, no, dude, like that's not what we finna do. You gonna get up, you gonna go because this is what you want to do. You just your body isn't as mobile, so of course you're gonna be a little bit more frantic, but you gotta get out there, man. You gotta get out there, and that's what I tell people when they ask me for advice about music. Just start, just do it. Whatever you write, don't be afraid to record it. Whatever you record, don't be afraid to perform it. Now, there are going to be people who don't like it. There are going to be people who might like it. There are going to be people who has mixed feelings on it. But now you know what you need to go and do again, and you already done faced the hard part. So go and do it again and again and again and again. It's just reps. It's just getting your reps up. So yeah,
all
I had to
right.
learn. I had to learn that myself.
You had to learn that yourself.
Yep, yep, yep. That's for everything. Cooking, music,
That's everything.
whatever I'm doing.
Okay, how can we support your music, your rapping? You know,
Just stream it, share it,
uh,
literally listen, share it to people, allow them to stream it, and so on. Literally, what we're doing now, allowing me this platform, so I can
yeah,
now. This is something that I can post. and share with my supporters and give them more of a deeper story so they can continue to want to listen and understand me more.
Right. I
Mm,
would like to say I was a little nervous when I started, but I'm
mm,
very comfortable with you
mm.
now. And
Thank you.
I'm so happy that you came on this platform
Thank
and we got to know you a little more. And I wanted to ask you, is this your first interview?
you. No,
Okay.
this far as live interviews, I usually don't do them. Like
Okay.
I like to go to the person and meet the person and be in person. But obviously, we are in the same area right now, so it's because it's timing and my schedule has been much busier than the typical. So no, this is not my first interview. This is
Okay.
my this is my first this is my very first interview that's directly focused around my disability, I must say.
Okay. Okay.
Usually my interviews are like music and then of course my story be talked about. But this one is more focused on the skin tissue and my disability. So this is actually, yes, I would
Right.
say,
So go ahead.
yeah, my first interview about my disability, exactly my disability.
All right. So people really got a chance to know who you are,
Mm,
know what you've been through,
mm,
know how you feel,
mm,
and you like here letting people know just what I say, keep your head up,
exactly.
continue to
Mm,
be successful mentally,
mm,
physical, and money wise.
yeah,
Just be
just be
blessed
you.
to be here because you're here for a reason.
Absolutely. And I
You're
just
here for a reason.
allow yourself to live, allow yourself to be vulnerable, allow yourself to be sad, allow yourself to be happy. If you're not happy, don't force it. If you want
Right.
to cry, straight them tears. Just make sure you're doing it for you and not for nobody else. And just make sure you have the right people around you. That's big. That's huge, honestly. That's really
Oh,
huge.
okay, that's a question I would like to ask you before we get off of here. So
Mm.
you saying I would like to know you have a good support team?
Uh, yes, I have a great support team. My team, we're like family, to be honest. The way we came about, the history we have amongst each other. I met one in college. He's the person. His name is Kyrie BTV. He's the founder of BTV Records. Um,
Okay.
he's actually the reason I put music out. Um, I showed him some of my stuff. I was just supposed to show him some beats because he's a rapper, and I was just like reached out to him. Can I show you some beats? Some of the music ended up playing with my rapping on it, and he was like, "Why aren't you a rapper?" And I was just like, "Me, like, nah, I don't have that type of confidence." And he was just basically doing what I'm doing now, like telling me like, you have a gift, so why not use it? And for me, it was just like for him to be a rapper and to be succeeding at it at the time being, and he seen something in me. I'm like, okay, let me do this. And me and him collabed, and we came together, and then he brought in his cousin and family, and now we just have a big team. We have a nice team, a solid team, and it's a lot of history with us. And a lot of people see us and be like, them people are crazy. They funny. They fun. They work. They about their business, and they just who they are, and that's what we love the most. Be the best records. We are just who we are. Be the best version of yourself. That's literally what the concept is. Be the best version of yourself. And then I have my actual friends, my family, and then my Instagram supporters. They keep me uplifted every single day, every single day, every single day. Today is my brother's birthday, so you know,
Give him a shout out.
yeah, yeah. He's he just I think he just walked out the door. We're gonna
So you
celebrate
give him a
today, so
shout out.
yeah. Shout out to my little brother, who's bigger than me. He just turned 23. Yeah. Shout out to Dez. Personally, want to say I'm proud of you, and you most definitely an unstoppable force, brother. And you got my support. Blessings multiplied in abundance. I said it. Thank you. I appreciate that very much. I really appreciate y'all for having me on here.
Thank you so much. So I wonder, anyone want to ask any questions while we on the show?
Yeah, I'm open to all questions. Anything people want to know. I'm an open book. I do it all. I do what I can.
Yes, come on now, ask some questions now.
I just was trying to make sure. Music don't miss it. True. Listen, thank you. Yeah, we're gonna give them a few seconds to roll in a few
Are you
questions.
not saying anything?
But we can give them a couple seconds to ask.
Yeah, we'll give them a couple seconds.
Probably covered a good amount.
Oh yes, you have.
Yeah,
You know,
I love it. I
I
love it.
love it. It turned out to be a very good show. I started off a little tense, but you
Mhm.
made me very comfortable, and I
Thank
hope
you.
I made you comfortable.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yes.
No red flags. No red flags. All green flags. If
Okay.
anything, I was nervous, but I,
It's
th-
okay. I mean, okay.
these names, some more things you've been working on, brother. Oh, I'm glad you asked that. Dang, that's something I needed to do myself. I should have been plugged myself. I'm working on another project. It's called The Big Deal. Um, The Big Deal. I actually just started my channel for that. The Big Deal is based around like the conversation that we're having now, like me knowing that I'm succeeding and I'm like doing what I need to do and like respectfully talk my stuff. Like I'm a person who are I'm going to be that big person, that big deal, that ticket out. And then also balance in the fact that everything I went through isn't a big deal. Like minor things, like
Hmm.
arguing with this person and allowing it to affect my entire day. Some things is not a big deal. And I try to tell people like, why are you so angry? Like literally, I was an angry dude. Like I tell you, like people did not used to want to be around me. Like I was just negative. Like I don't want to talk to you. I don't want to look at you. I don't want to do nothing with you because I felt like I was just misunderstood. But it wasn't even that big of a deal. It literally wasn't that big of a deal. It's just minor things. And when you learn to find your balance of what bothers you, can't nobody tell you that that's not that big of a deal. It's the principles and things. Like, did you take my juice out the refrigerator? Yeah, but it was almost gone. I didn't know it was yours. That's not the point. Like, it wasn't yours. Well, it's not that big of a deal. I get you another juice. Yes, it is because I was thirsty and I knew that I was coming home to my juice. Now, I could sit on that all day and be upset, but I want them to know that you can't tell me that that's not a big deal to me because that juice could have been very important to me. You know what I'm saying? Just
Right.
something in that manner. So it all based around that and like people not understanding like, dude, if you feel it, state it and stand on it, but also learn that what the other person is given and taken and just communication. That's what makes a lot of things so much easier these days. If a person just can be able to be mature enough to have a conversation, learn, understand that this person is affected by this and I'm affected by this. Is it a big deal to them? Yes. Is it a big deal to me? No. Is it a big deal overall? Yes, because it's a big deal that is not a big deal to me. And it's a big deal to you that is not a big deal to me. So just learning and putting that all into a full body of work. And this is where I love because I love concepts. So it's like, I just cannot wait for this to be done. It is different than my album because I'm in a different headspace. I don't want to continue to make these projects and these songs about my story because my story continues to grow. It's not about just my disability in my past. Like people don't think that I should. Like I have eyes. Like people comment like, "Oh, you make turned up songs now." What do you mean I make turned up songs now? Like of course, like I'm enjoying myself. Can I not make a song about me enjoying myself or partying and doing anything that the average person does on the regular? So just accepting that role as well, like learning that some of my supporters and fans might not understand, but hopefully eventually they will. The, I'm 28. The project that I talked about my story was back when I was 8, 6 on up, 6, 12, 14, 16, 18, 21. So yeah, I'm doing that. Big deal. The cooking is going great. I got a new rotation on Sundays where I'm selling food on a food truck. So that's coming up starting October 13th. I am writing a story. I'm writing a book called Living Lifestyles. It's kind of about what we've been talking about the entire everybody's personal lifestyles and the way you live. Um, it's the goal of the book is to talk about the perspective of everybody's point of view, mother, son, teacher, student, criminal, cop, you know, all those type of scenarios, and just put it in a nice story. It is what is it, fiction, not fiction. It isn't real. It's all like scenarios, but it's scenarios that I've personally seen through other people's lenses. So I'm working on that. Traveling. I got some things in Atlanta next month. Um, yeah, it's pretty much it for this year that I'm working on.
All right. Now, I want to ask you this before we leave. Since you talked about your food truck, what kind of food are you selling on the food truck?
So I'm actually just made my new menu literally this morning when I woke up because I had to adjust to the bars that I was working at. Usually when I first started, I was selling food out of my house, and it was just chicken wings and like fries and sliders, Philly cheese. Oh God, Philly cheesesteak sliders, and then I did like tacos and walking tacos,
Mm.
and did like soul food. I would actually ask my people like, "What do y'all want? What do y'all want?" And sometimes they can backfire because you buy all this food and nobody buys it. So what I've learned is just give them something to see and give them the bare minimum of a selection. So now I have these things called the trio, which is three options. It'll be chicken wings, sliders, and rotel dip, and that'll be sold as a package. And then you have the duos, which you can split those three up into two, and that's a package. And then obviously you have the singles, but I don't think I'm gonna do the singles like the wings, the rotel, or the sliders. I think I'm only gonna give them that option. So my niche was tacos, dips, and chicken tacos and walking tacos. But, I wanted to do something different. And like the people that I seen and I showed them what I was doing, they was like, yes. Like I got a lot. I didn't get no like, no, I don't think you should do that. I was like, yeah, like go for it. Like you should do that.
Well, you got good supporters. Okay, now I want you to support him on his Cash App. He put it in the comments. And I would like to tell you thank you, Banks,
Thank
so
you.
much for coming on this show. Scar Tissues. I am your host, Selena Turner,
Mhm.
produced by Isaidit Management.
Thank
I
you.
got it. So, what would you like to say before you leave the show?
I
What?
always say, beat the odds, remain humble, just be yourself. Beat the just whatever bar you set, beat that for yourself. Don't try to live nobody else's life. Beat the odds and remain humble.
All right. And the last thing, keep your head up.
Keep your
Keep
head up
your
at all
head up.
times. At
All
all
right.
times.
Thank you so much,
Thank you.
man. Thank you. I mean, woo.
Thank you.
I bow my head to you. Thank you so
Thank you.
much.
Thank you. How do I leave this thing?
Love it.
I think I did it.
All right, people. All right.
Selena, good job. You made it. We made it through another show.
You could only. I messed up at the beginning. I got real nervous.
Yeah. Well, he's really special. He's really
He
special.
is a true. Are we still on the show?
Oh snap!
Because he is
We
truly
are. We
everyone.